What's going on, guys? I got my Sabre 68. I have exchanged all the pins. So in a couple previous videos I got some 1.5 millimeter thick by 10 millimeter long 304 stainless steel pins, like furniture dowels. Got them from Amazon. They were like $6 or $7 for like 100 of them. So this has been stuttering and stuff. I fixed it by using nails instead of that. I just kind of makeshift MacGyvered some nails, put them in here. They worked okay for a little bit. The nails ended up bending, so both of the nails were bent, which were makeshift pins inside here in the trigger. I have plenty of videos on what I've done to this. The restrictor is drilled out. After I reinserted a second stainless steel pin, I re-threadlocked everything, and it's been about 4 days now. So I did the threadlock stuff on Thursday the 8th, I'm pretty sure. So it's been like 4 days. It's Monday right now, Monday the 14th, July 14th. So this has been essentially put back to like how it used to be. I'm going to see if it stutters. I'm just going to use the 12 gram CO2, see how many times it stutters. If it stutters, I'm going to get chronograph readings. I'm using Alien Play 7.2 gram balls. They're kind of small in the bore size, like 679, 680, probably 679. This barrel, it seems to work really well with 682 or 684 bore size ammunition. So if I use my Joules V3s, get pretty good results with this. If I use the Burna Kinetics, they fit through the barrel pretty good. The Salt Supply kinetic rounds are a little bit too big for this barrel. I believe those are like 687 on the bore size. With my bore checker, I'm like double checking it with the caliper. So I'm just gonna shoot this, see if it stutters, all that stuff. I've got my chronograph. I'll be right back. All right, you guys, I don't know if I mentioned it, this has been drilled out 1 millimeter. So there's a valve inside this plastic shell, and I took apart my Sabre and I messed with the inside, and I drilled out this restrictor that's in here where my thumb's touching. I drilled it out to 1 millimeter. The original hole was very small, probably like 0.5 millimeters. I have a target set up. I'm just gonna try shooting it. I'm about 3.5 footsteps away, so I'm roughly 10 to 11 feet away from that, or like 3.5 meters, 3 meters. So I'm gonna pressurize this. It's not super hot today or nothing like that. One ball fell out the barrel, but that happens every once in a while. So this will have 6 shots because I didn't breech load one. So I got 6 rounds and chronograph, and this usually hits between 25 and 27 joules on the first shot. 266. I was aiming for bullseye. I hit a little bit above, like on the 8 ring. So try this again. Aiming for bullseye. 258. This launcher is very lightweight, so you can actually, if you've seen any of my videos, you actually see me like lifting up the front because it's so light that the CO2 is causing a lot of back pressure. So shooting again. 244. I'm gonna check out the target really quick. So my first shot was up here. I'm pretty sure my second and third shot were here, and I'm aiming for this. So I'll be right back. So far, no stuttering yet. Cross my fingers. 238. I'm still hitting about right there. Sorry, my camera went out of focus, but you can probably see these puncture wounds. I think I got 2 more shots. 228. And last shot right here. So I'm hitting above the bullseye constantly, which is fine. It's just a normal sheet of paper. 8.5 by 11.5 piece of just office paper. So it'll definitely hit some things torso or midsection easily from that far. Like, it's not that far, it's only 10 feet. So yeah, all of them are hitting up here. I'm gonna reload the mag. I'll just stop with the target shooting and get back on it. All right, you guys, I'm gonna try breech loading one. So that was 6 shots on the same CO2. There's a one breech load. This is the magazine. I did not switch the CO2, but there's 7 in the mag. 7 alien play balls. This didn't fall out this time. This has been sitting for maybe a minute. 224, still no stuttering, so I'm happy for that so far. 214. 202. This is pretty normal. This is a pretty normal drop off for this launcher. The first magazine is typically the strongest. Every once in a while, the second mag, the first shot or two will be almost as strong as the first magazine. And I mean, like, the 6th or 7th shot on the first magazine, sometimes the first shot on the second mag is as powerful as the 6th shot on the first mag, if that's not confusing. 176, I had a tiny bit of a stutter, like a really small like noise. 166, nothing happened on that one. I'm gonna reload this. That's completely normal to reload the mag. There's a brass valve kind of thing right here, and like a nipple in here. And when you remove the magazine, the pressure in the launcher leaks out. So I'm just gonna mag dump this. I know that it's not gonna hit any harder than like 170 feet per second. So 7 rounds, and I'm just mag dumping. That was 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That is also normal for me for this one. It's always done that. When the pressure's essentially out, it'll kind of do that like farting, stuttering thing. And mine are always like super frosty when I'm done using it. There is almost nothing left in there. If you can't tell, that thing is hella frosty. I'm pretty sure you can tell now. So yeah, it's super cold, but I like the cold. And here's dust again, being a weirdo. So yeah, that's it. I got one shot that stuttered, but I'm fine with that because it did not stutter on the first magazine. It didn't stutter at all on the first magazine. So next thing I'll try is I'll hook it up to a CO2 tank or an HPA tank and just get some normal kind of shots out of it, and probably use HPA first and then use the CO2 because that thing has a restrictor in the back of the valve. HPA is not going to be that powerful. I think when I typically use the HPA tank, even if I use like a 950 output tank, it tops out around like 11 joules or 12 joules. But when I use the CO2 tank, it hits like 18 to 20 every single shot because the CO2 is more dense and it behaves differently, especially in things that have restrictors like the Sabre. I can remove that restrictor, and when I removed the restrictor the first time, that's when I broke the pins and had a bunch of random stuff happen to it. So eventually I'll get to that, but for now I'm just putting it, baby steps, pushing it harder and harder, and seeing if it's not a good idea at all to remove the restrictor. I mean, you could probably remove your restrictor if you barely use your launcher and you just have it for emergencies, but I shoot that thing all the time. So it's kind of just like a learning curve because no one else really does at least I haven't checked in a while. No one's really like tearing this thing apart and doing random shit to it like how I'm doing. So it's been a while since I actually looked, but this is the remote line adapter thing. This is a big CO2 tank. I just got done shooting the Beeman, which is right there, with this tank on the previous video, which probably just came out the day before this one. So this is working pretty much, like I'm 98% sure it'll be okay, but this is just one CO2. I got to keep firing it and stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you have your Sabre and it is not modified like how mine is, you have a 2-year warranty to get anything fixed. You just have to register your product with the company, and that probably takes like 5 minutes, and it's only like $150. They do not offer any sort of paid service to fix it. If you end up screwing around with yours like how I did and then break it, you're shit out of luck. You're on your own. I told them that I opened mine up. I told them that I make YouTube videos with it. They were like, oh cool, thanks for making videos, but no, we can't help you. So I fixed it myself. Wasn't that hard. I had a lot of help from Sean from Less Lethal for Dummies, and yeah, you can't, if you open yours up and mess with it, they'll probably know, because there's Loctite on a lot of this stuff. And I haven't found any barrels that you can switch in with this. I had to re-Loctite my barrel because it actually came loose, because I put very minimal Loctite. The first time I Loctited everything, I used the blue Loctite, you know, the semi-permanent stuff. But the barrel, it's not gonna pop off, but because there's like some shell like spines and stuff that are keeping it in place. It's not gonna pop off. I haven't found any barrels that, I haven't really looked that much, but the way that the threads are in the barrel, they snug up against the breech, and a normal paintball barrel won't work in that, because it has to, I'd have to like Dremel out some stuff on the body of the barrel, and probably cut some of the leading the lead part of where the threads are. There's usually like a smooth part of the barrel and then threads. I'll have to cut off that smooth part that's right before the threads, or right after, right before the threads. I'd have to chop that stuff off, because the threads butt up against the breech, and the breech has a O-ring in it, and then right after the breech threads there's an O-ring, and then that's where the ball is. So if we have a barrel that has a smooth section and then threads, that smooth section is going to get in the way of the inside of where the ball loads. And what I'm basically saying is you can kind of see it in there. So at the bottom of the breech you can see like an O-ring possibly in there. It's like a step part, like where my finger is tapping, but on the inside. Most paintball barrels will plug up that space where the ball is supposed to load. Like it'll be half blocking that, because they have like threads. They have a smooth part and then threads. So yeah, I haven't looked at the thread pitch or anything. I could take it to Ansgear, but then I'll have to take this apart and then show them the barrel and be like, hey, what kind of thread is this? And they would probably know, but they don't have any barrels that are just threads immediately. Everything's smooth and then threads and then the rest of the barrel. So yeah, that's about it. You guys have a good one, and sorry I rambled forever, but yeah, see you next time.